Hi, and welcome back to Alacoy. I'm sitting here in my little room, and I have not been speaking about how I walk the Camino, but, I bought some boots, and, I might as well, talk a bit about how I walk the Camino. So, and I have not really shown anything, but before you walk the Camino, you need a passport, because when you go to all the albergues and hostels, and you need stamps, and you get them in this passport so people know that you are a pilgrim. It's muy importante. And then you have a necklace to show that you are a pilgrim. It's muy bien porque the albergues, they see you are a pilgrim, so they give you hospitality and give you a bed and maybe some food. It's muy bien. But you walk a long time on the Camino, and it takes a long time to get anywhere because you walk 25 kilometers a day. It's kind of crazy, you know what I'm saying? So, when you walk, there's a lot of things that you see, but you also, your feet hurt a lot because you walk so far, you know what I'm saying? And that means that when you it's very hard and you're very sweaty, and your legs and your feet, they hurt. They freaking hurt, because you walk, thousands of steps every single day, and it takes a long time to get anywhere. So, you just got to get used to taking the steps, you know what I'm saying? And that's also why it's good to have a hat, because the sun is just burning your freaking face. And but it's okay, because we are pilgrims and we are tough, so it's just really good. But on the Camino, there's a lot of thoughts and all the things that go through your head. So you use your notebook to write, your thoughts, and what's going on, inside and outside yourself. Because, where else to put it? You can't just, throw it out the window. You walk in the Camino, it's not like you're inside a house the whole time and sitting down. You just gotta, put down, some words on this notebook, on a piece of paper with a pen, because that's the way you get all your thoughts and your feelings out, if you don't have anybody to talk to, of course, But, it's not every day or every second that you have, any person to talk to, but when you do, it's always nice as well, because you meet a lot of great people on the Camino, even people who really are nice to you and give you a lot of love and, compassion, and understanding, and then, they like you because you have, some people tell me, I'm young, and I'm this journey navigator, so, I gave them, my card. This is my card, I'm a navigator. I got a compass, it's like, attached to my soul, you know what I'm saying? If you ask me, I can direct you to anywhere, you can go there, you can go there, So it's no problem, it's no problem, I can take you anywhere, I can even take you to the moon, just gonna walk the other way. But it's really hard to understand, sometimes where you have to go in life. Life is not easy, life is hard sometimes. So sometimes you need to walk a long way to just go anywhere, to just wherever you want to go in life. Sometimes you just need to walk a long time to figure out what the best ways to go, or to be, or to do, or and maybe if you don't even know, you probably have to go somewhere else where you're walking, because if you walk over here, you don't want to be there. If you walk over here, you have to, maybe even you have to go back, and then you disappear for a while, and then you don't really know what's going to happen after, and fear sets in, and it's so hard, because you don't really know where you're going, you don't know what to do, and then you just get tired sometimes, and you get sad, and sometimes you cry also, and it's just, you don't know what to do, and sometimes it's just so hard to be alive, you know what I'm saying? And what you do And we can walk, we can just walk, Gideon, we can just keep on walking. Walking because we have boots, we got some pants, we even have a belt. We have a belt to keep our pants up, to keep these pants up that we have on. So that's why we need a belt, to keep us going. This belt of ours, it's over here. The belt is over on the left of us here. This is what we want to show you because sometimes you need a strong belt to keep your pants up. Otherwise, you kill yourself, because it's not fun to walk without pants. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why do you do that? And then we walk, in a much easier way when we have this beautiful belt. So but you have to be controlling the belt. Sometimes you don't have to use it. So but then we keep on walking. It's easier. It's easier to walk. You know what I'm saying? And we walk the Camino. We walk the Camino. It takes a long time to walk the Camino. And you're still here. You're still listening because it's so interesting to hear how somebody walked 800 kilometers to, freaking Santiago. Why would he go to Santiago? You know what I'm saying? It's like, why do you go to another city? You have been passing hundreds of houses and millions of cities and towns, and you just don't know what's going on. And then you think that seeing a cathedral is like, oh, this is the goal. No, it's not, man. No, it's not. It's like the journey. The journey is, what we do. It's like smell the flowers on the journey and the smell the roses on the journey. But I didn't find a freaking rose. You know what I'm saying? So, but when I got to Santiago, I was kind of happy, because it's been 35 days. It's been walking 35 days on the Camino, and it took a long time. It took a long time to do that. Yes, it was very nice, very nice, And then when we had walked the 35 days and got into Santiago, we needed some proof to so we could show everybody in the world that we've been walking the Camino Santiago, blah, blah, blah. And so you can brag to the whole internet online about that you've been walking like 800 kilometers and maybe taking like almost 1 million steps. It's like crazy. So you walk in line, you stand in line for a while, and then you get this Compostela, diploma, and it's right in front of me. And sometimes it takes a long time to get because you have to walk 800 kilometers, and then it's like you don't even really know what to do, and But then you get this Compostela, and your nice name are written in Latin, and my name, got to be Gideon M. Yeah, what's that about, really? I didn't know really what to do with that, you know what I'm saying? So, I was just enjoying my time in the cathedral, and during the city and walking around, having some wine with my fellow pilgrims, peregrinos, as they're called in Spain. So, I was almost done, but I wanted to walk more, so I walked all the way to Finisterre, walking the Camino all the way to Finisterre, and then seeing the end of the world. And it was so much fun to see the ocean, see all the great people, and see just how everything was just so nice. You know what I'm saying? You know what the biggest accomplishments was? You take 1 million steps to walk the Camino. It's like, it's like, whoa, it's crazy. You don't even know what to do. So, but it was fun. I was done walking the Camino. When I walked into Machia, it was like, I'm done. I'm finito. It's final. So, 42 days. It took 42 days to walk the Camino. No para, no, un moment. So, but it was really nice to walk the Camino. It took me 42 days and actually about over 1 million steps. Can you believe it? 1 million steps to walk the Camino. But that was it, you know what I'm saying? You know, the last day was all sunshine and rainbows, and it was all in the ocean. I saw the last sunset, you know, and everything was perfecto, you know what I'm saying? So, can you please keep my hat on again, please? My hat, please, my hat. I want to finish with my hat, you know, please. So, you're really happy when you finish the Camino because you have so much to write about and so much to do after. So I just want to say thank you for all the people I met and all the things that I experienced. And if you really want to know more about this, you can go to my daily blog, and it's right below this video. It's right below, right underneath here. And then you can just, you know, check it out. And maybe you'll walk the Camino someday. But it's finito. Muchas gracias por seeing this video. And Buen camino, buen camino, buen camino. Ciao, ciao.